the Indian dream that I grew up believing. If you study hard and get into a good job, everything would be taken care of. But getting here is when you realize that dream was incomplete because I am paying more than one third of my salary as taxes. And what am I getting in return of it? Better roads, better hospitals, better healthcare, cleaner air, safety. Money can buy you comfort, but it cannot buy a functioning public system. Has your definition of the Indian dream also changed? Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new video on realizations. Today's video is going to be very different from the usual ones that I make on this channel because some things have happened over the past year and especially this past 1 week that have fundamentally changed the way how I look at success, education, and the Indian dream. I couldn't stop thinking about it for quite a long time, and I felt that I had to make this video. In fact, I'm starting this new series called Life Realizations with Ria, where I talk about ideas and experiences that have a deep impact on me. And welcome to episode 1. Just a few years ago, if you told me that someone who graduated from some of the top colleges of the country, someone who was earning 50 lakhs to 1 crore a year, would still choose to leave India to settle abroad, I wouldn't have understood that. Maybe even thought that they were insane. Why would they leave? They have achieved the Indian dream. They have built everything that we are working towards. They have won in life. Why leave a life like that? But over this past year and this last week, I finally understand them. And honestly, that realization scares me because if I understand them and their choices, then it means that the Indian dream that I grew up believing is now shattered. Let me explain what I mean by that. I come from a very lower middle class family. My father was a photographer and my mom a housewife. The average monthly income of my household was roughly between 10,000 to 20,000 rupees on average. There were months where there were no weddings, and in those months, the earning was zero. And when you grow up in a family like that, you don't dream of luxuries or expensive cars. You dream of basic survivals, that you're able to meet your basic needs without worrying too much, without having to run pillar to pillar. That was my dream. Study hard, get into a good college, get into a good job, earn enough to build a decent life for you and your family, a secure future. That's why education wasn't just important, it was the only way out. And I was fortunate that I got to climb this ladder. I got into one of the best engineering institutes of the country, NIT Jamshedpur, and then one of the best management schools of the country. And today I'm fortunate to have a career that pays well and also have a side income because of content creation. And like any salaried professional in India, I pay more than 30% of my income in taxes. And I also know hundreds of people who do the same. People from IITs, IIMs, doctors, engineers, teachers, consultants, a lot of them earning between 40 lakhs per annum to 1 crore. Growing up, I thought that this was the finish line. I thought that once you reach incomes like this, life would be easy. Everything would be taken care of. But getting here is when you realize that dream was incomplete. Because yes, now you earn well. Now you can live in a society, live in a protected environment, feel like you have escaped up until you step out of that society. And suddenly you're back into that same reality, same helplessness, the same broken roads जिसमें इतने गड्ढे हैं कि कभी कभी लगता है कि it's an obstacle course, the same traffic जिसमें 2 किलोमीटर पार करने में आधा घंटा से भी ज़्यादा लग जाता है, with all that किच 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 किच. लोग रोड पे लड़ रहे होते हैं, people driving through as if there are no traffic rules. रोज़ अपने आँख के सामने 2-3 एक्सीडेंट तो मैं ही देख लेती हूँ. सुपर पोल्यूटेड एयर एंड AQI की तो बात ही मत करो. गार्बेज ओवरफ्लोइंग एवरीवेयर. कभी कभी तो आई कॉन्शियसली ट्राई टू नोटिस कि क्या कभी 100 मीटर भी ऐसा आता है जिसमें आई डोंट सी कचरा. एंड आई नो दैट हैज़ नेवर हैपेंड. वीक लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिस्टम जहाँ अगर तुम्हारे साथ कभी भी कुछ बुरा हुआ तो तुम सिर्फ अपने भरोसे, यू आर ऑन योर ओन इवन इफ इट वॉज नॉट योर मिस्टेक. पुलिस से डर के रहो. गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स जा नहीं सकते, अपने बच्चों को गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में पढ़ा नहीं सकते, एंड प्राइवेट एजुकेशन इज सो कॉस्टली. एंड एवरीवेयर यू सी द सेम थिंग, extreme lack of accountability. I am paying more than one third of my salary as taxes, and what am I getting in return of it? Better roads, better hospitals, better healthcare, cleaner air, safety. बड़ी चीज़ों की तो बात यहाँ कोई कर ही नहीं रहा है. Just mere survival वो भी नहीं हो रहा है. वहाँ पे भी adjustment and acting as if this life is normal, this system that we have built is normal. And then you realize that yes, money can buy you comfort inside that protected environment that you call house. but it cannot buy a functioning public system. And this realization changed something in me. And now let's talk about something more recent, the student protests. And honestly, that this feels like the final nail in the coffin. Every year, lakhs of students in this country decide to give years of their lives to exams like NEET, JEET, CUET, CAT, UPSC, और भी न जाने क्या क्या. Parents take loan, they give up so much, sacrifice so much. Students give up so much in their lives for those 2 to 4 years. Because, like I said, as was the case with me, education remains one of the only few ways of social mobility, of building a better life for yourself and your family. And that is why paper leak and controversies like this, a bad education system, feels so personal and not just another news story. I don't know how many of you have prepared for exams like this, but imagine for 2 years or 4 years, you are locked in a room, sacrificing everything, not going out, just studying for an exam, working hard because you believe that if you work hard, you will be rewarded for it. And then that system fails you, you go and give that exam. पता चलता है उसका paper leak है. There was someone whose father could afford getting that paper and getting them admitted to a government medical hospital without actually studying, and the system let it happen. Honestly, students are not asking for miracles. They are asking for something much more basic, much more simpler. Protect the system that talks about meritocracy, that talks about fairness, that talks about justice, and take responsibility for the times when the system fails. Work on it and improve it. That's it. That's what the students are asking. That's what the country is asking. Accountability. It's not just about education. The whole thing is connected. Unsafe roads, broken infrastructure, polluted air, garbage, not concerned about the environment, such high rates of unemployment, public education system in shambles, and now not even able to conduct a fair exam. All different problems, but the same feeling. When the system fails you, there is no accountability here. And that's the question I've not been able to get out of my head. No, not that why students are protesting or who is behind it or who benefits, but if ordinary people cannot even trust the system that shapes their very lives, then what exactly are we working hard towards? Which brings me back to where I started. A few years ago, I genuinely did not understand why someone successful, someone who was earning well, would leave a country like India. You could get very luxurious, very comfortable lives here. In fact, I come from a background where I hardly knew anyone personally who had taken this route or who could afford to move abroad. And I believed in the Indian dream. Work hard, study hard, build a life for yourself, and you'll not have to worry again. I genuinely believe that. Today, that belief is shaken, almost destroyed. And no, it did not happen overnight. It has been happening slowly, event after event, incident after incident. Because once you actually achieve what you were dreaming of, which was the Indian dream in my case, you then get to see the reality which you were blind towards while you were chasing or while you were climbing that stair, because you were so busy climbing that time. Yes, you can study hard. Yes, you can get a great job, earn 40, 50, 60, 70 lakhs, pay 30 to 35% taxes, follow every single rule, do everything society asks of you, and still be fighting for the basics, still be negotiating, adjusting for the smallest of things that you shouldn't even have to worry about. And maybe this is the reason why we are seeing this big shift happening. Every year, thousands of Indians leaving India. These are the very people who could afford anything in India. And on the outside, you could be judgmental and say they don't love the country enough. And even I thought that a few years ago. And today I understand why they are leaving. Maybe they did not stop loving India, but after a point, they reached the same conclusion that I reached. After a point, money stops being enough, because money cannot buy you cleaner air, money cannot buy you drinking water, money cannot buy you safe roads or safety for your loved ones. It cannot buy you trusted institutions or accountability of the government. Those things have to exist for everyone, for the whole society. And even after working so hard, you don't find it in your own country, then you look for it someplace else. Not because life abroad is very easy or very shiny and glamorous. There are so many problems in other countries too. Adjustment, loneliness, high expenses, even racism, cultural adjustment, building your life from scratch. And yet, so many Indians just dream of going abroad. And when millions of educated people make the same decisions, come to the same conclusion, I don't think the answer is that all of them are just not patriotic. Maybe the right question is they are just looking for something basic that this society is not able to provide to them. And no, it's not luxury. It's ulta, life abroad is more difficult in terms of the fact that you have to do a lot of the things on your own. But a lot of the things that should be basic, should be fundamental, are taken care of. And before you come after me saying, so solution kya hai? Sab log India chhod de? No, honestly, chhod bhi nahi sakte. Of course not. Visa, family, responsibilities, money, jobs for millions of Indians abroad तो बहुत दूर की बात है. इंडिया में ही पॉवर्टी खत्म करना, पॉवर्टी से ऊपर उठना में उनकी लाइफ बीत जाएगी. In an ideal world, the right question to ask would be, how do we build a country so that people don't need to leave? And of course the answer is nuanced and difficult, but it's not so mysterious कि कोई guess नहीं कर पाएगा या कोई figure out नहीं कर पाएगा. It's something that all of us know. Invest in primary education, modernize our curriculum, teach about AI, technology, critical thinking, innovation, and not just rote learning to pass exams. Create more high quality jobs, support entrepreneurs, support research, build infrastructure that lasts, strengthen public welfare, make the roads safer, punish exam leaks transparently and quickly, hold institutions accountable, and maybe more than anything else, stop making every conversation about religion, caste, language, divide, how India was 100 years ago. Yes, history matters, culture matters, but it can never be the substitute for development. Honestly, I'm not saying that I'm leaving India. I'm not. I can't. Not yet. Now, here's the honest part. This isn't a video about moving abroad, was not even an option, and that's why I never even considered it. The dream was just to get out of poverty. I did that only to realize that poverty was just one part of the problem. I know a lot of you will disagree with me. Some of you will say this is too harsh or too selfish or that I'm being too optimistic. And that's okay. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. Far from it. And I'm not even saying that India cannot improve. In fact, I hope it does. And in 10 years' time, I look back at this video and see how wrong I was. Finally, I want to leave you with this question. Has your definition of the Indian dream also changed? Or do you still believe that if you study hard and work hard, you could build a life in India that you really want? I'm not looking for any debate or fight. I just want to have a conversation because I have a feeling that I'm not the only one who's been thinking about this.